In a small, forgotten village perched on the edge of a vast desert, the nights were longer than they should have been. For as long as anyone could remember, darkness arrived far too early and lingered long past dawn. Crops struggled to grow, and spirits sagged under the weight of perpetual shadow. But amidst this gloom stood a peculiar figure, an elderly woman known only as Leora, the lantern keeper. She lived in a tiny stone house on the village's outskirts, its walls draped in ivy and its windows glowing faintly from within. No one knew much about her, except that she tended to a single, ancient lantern, said to hold the light of a forgotten sun. The villagers were a weary, skeptical lot. Life was hard, and hope had become a scarce commodity. Children whispered tales of the lantern keeper's magic, but adults dismissed them as foolish fancies. "She's just an old woman with an old light," they'd say. "No one can fight back the dark." Then, one fateful winter, the darkness deepened. Days became mere moments of dim twilight before night fell again, colder and heavier than before. The villagers began to panic. Crops withered completely, and livestock grew frail. It was clear, if the darkness continued, the village would not survive the season. Desperate, the villagers called a meeting. They argued over solutions, each more desperate than the last. Finally, someone suggested seeking Leora's help. Though many doubted her, they had no better options. A small group, led by a young boy named Kai, volunteered to approach her. Kai was the youngest in the village, but he carried more hope than most adults. When the group arrived at Leora's home, it was Kai who stepped forward to knock on her weathered door. It creaked open, revealing the lantern keeper, her face lined with age but her eyes sharp and kind. "You've come for the light," she said, as if she'd been expecting them. Kai nodded. "Our village is dying. Can you help us?" Leora studied them for a moment before speaking. "The light in my lantern is no ordinary flame. It was given to me long ago, meant to guide those who have lost their way. But it cannot burn forever unless it is shared. If you wish to save your village, you must carry this light to the heart of the desert and reignite the beacon of dawn." The villagers exchanged nervous glances. The desert was vast and treacherous, its sands known to swallow travelers whole. But Kai stepped forward again. "I'll go," he said, his voice steady. Leora handed Kai the lantern, its golden light flickering gently. "Guard it with your life," she warned. "And remember, the light will grow stronger if you offer hope to others along the way." Kai set out at dawn, accompanied by 3 villagers. The desert was harsher than they'd imagined. Winds howled, whipping up blinding sandstorms. The sunless sky offered no sense of direction. Yet, through it all, the lantern's glow guided them, cutting through the darkness like a beacon. One night, as they rested by a rocky outcrop, they heard faint cries carried by the wind. Following the sound, they found a traveler, injured, cold, and near death. Though their supplies were limited, Kai insisted they help. They shared their food and wrapped the traveler in their blankets. As they did, the lantern's light flared brighter, illuminating their path forward. The group encountered many such moments. A caravan stranded in the dunes, a family lost and searching for water, an injured bird tangled in thorny brush. Each time they chose to help, despite their own hardships, the lantern's glow intensified, warming them against the desert's biting chill. But the journey took its toll. By the time they reached the beacon of dawn, a towering crystal spire buried beneath the sands, only Kai and one other villager remained. Exhausted but resolute, they climbed the spire, carrying the lantern with trembling hands. At the spire's summit, they found a hollow where the lantern fit perfectly. As Kai placed it inside, the golden light surged outward, racing across the sky. The darkness that had plagued their world began to retreat, replaced by a warm, golden dawn. For the first time in years, the sun rose over the desert, painting the sands in hues of red and gold. The light returned not just to the village but to Kai's heart. He realized that the journey wasn't just about restoring the sun, it was about restoring faith in kindness, in the strength of helping others even when it seemed impossible. When Kai and his companion returned to the village, they were met with cheers and tears of gratitude. Crops began to grow again, and the villagers felt a hope they hadn't known in years. As for Leora, she smiled from her doorstep, watching as her lantern's legacy lived on. Kai kept the lesson of the journey close to his heart, becoming a leader who reminded the village of the power of unity and compassion. And though the lantern keeper eventually passed on, her light continued to shine, not just in the beacon of dawn but in the hearts of all who heard Kai's story. Hope and kindness can light the way, even in the darkest times. By helping others and staying united, we not only overcome challenges but also ignite a brighter future for all.